It's October 6th, and I'm back. What's up, all my friends? Hope everybody's been well since late August when I last posted a video. For those of you that watched the video, that listened to the video, you knew that I was taking at least a month off as I was going to Nepal to trek the Himalayas to speak at an event and all that jazz. And to be honest, I got back from that trip. I then came out to San Diego to visit family, and we've been doing some coastal traveling up to Santa Barbara, Malibu, San Clemente. Now we're back in San Diego, and we're not actually going back to my home of Puerto Rico until the end of the month. So I'll still be traveling for the rest of this month, but I knew that it was time to get back on the horse and get MSTR today back out to you, to get MSTR and the Treasury Titans back out to you. Thank you to everybody who sent the kind messages while I was gone, letting me know how much you missed the show. That really does mean a lot. So thank you. Seriously, thank you to those people that did reach out. I really do appreciate that. I really do enjoy doing the show. It's just sometimes, you've got to experience life, and this Nepal trip and meeting the Nepalese people was just one of those once in a lifetime experiences that I had. I was actually there during the revolution. For those of you that track the news closely, it was crazy. I'll tell you more details about it at another time. And in fact, in a future video, maybe later this week, I'll actually, at the end of it, for those people that want to stick around, I'll share some unbelievable photos and some more detailed experiences of my Nepal trip and other things that have been going on. And people that aren't interested in that, you can just stop at that point in the video. I'll let you know when it's going to happen. For those of you that are, you can definitely keep on watching and see some cool videos and updates, et cetera, et cetera. But listen, without any further ado, it is October 6th, my friends. We are in Q4. Man, I picked a good time to be gone because it was just ugly and choppy and boring and lame for the end of August, for all of September. It really didn't start getting cool until a couple weeks ago, really even more so a week ago. And things are getting pretty darn cool. Let's be honest with that. And what does that mean? Well, Bitcoin hit an all-time high. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the share on Bitcoin's current price. We're over 125,000 right now as we speak. But as you can see, pretty recently, it was just back up it was over 126,000, as I know a lot of you are aware of. Probably all of you are aware of that. But it's just great to be in the 120s, let alone hitting all-time highs right now. It's been a lot of fun. As you can see, in the past 5 days, Bitcoin's up over 5.5%. And of course, it's great to see that MSTR is also up quite a good amount, over 12.5%, almost 12.5%, 12.29% in the past 5 days as well. So that's been cool. If I even go back over a month, you can see we got to a low of 300, which, by the way, I actually bought at 306, a nice little chunk. It was right before it actually got down to like 295, I believe was the low. So I bought at 306, and then it just like immediately dropped off a cliff to 295. And I'm like, of course. But the rebound was pretty swift, and now I'm not complaining about my 305 purchase whatsoever. And to those people that were also wondering, I have been keeping up on my $210 per day purchase of MSTR every single trading day of 2025. That is happening. It's been happening. Life is good in that arena. I'll give you some updates on that later, but we are well back into the green on that, which is a lot of fun. So just congratulations to everybody who's held on, when we dipped down into 109 region and even lower, and all the FUD that is always happening. Just congratulations to you for sticking around, and I want to commend you for that, because Q4 is here. Unbelievably bullish momentum is here. It's present. I'm excited to be a part of it. I have not even come close to selling. I haven't even considered selling a share of MSTR. That's not even on the potential decade plus horizon. I can't even imagine if it's on a century plus horizon. I mean, I'll just probably roll over one day in my grave, and I'll know that when I do that, it'll be because my son, Bo, is for some reason selling MSTR shares. So, Bo, if you're listening to this in the future and you're selling MSTR shares, know that I'm rolling over in my grave. But in all seriousness, it's been great times all around just the past week or so. Here's a great post by Jeff Walton. Just 6 days into Q4, just 6 days. We're just 6 days into Q4, and MSTR is sitting on $6.5 billion of unrealized gain and $4.6 billion of net income. That's insane. And that's what happens when you're sitting on a massive stack of Bitcoin. That is roughly 775 million of net income per day. Okay. Nobody does that, barely anybody. And by anybody, I mean any company. That's $500,000 of net income per employee per day. This does not happen. I mean, this is the company that Michael Saylor has built. This is strategy. This is the company that Phong Lee is running. This is strategy. This is the company that you are investing in. And that's at a Bitcoin price of about 125,300, which is very close to where it's at right now, because Q3 closed at 114,000. And as you know, that was up about $7,000 per Bitcoin from the Q2 close, which was around $107,000 per Bitcoin. So another great quarter, even though Bitcoin only went up 7,000, it was billions and billions and billions of dollars of profit. And now Bitcoin's up 11,000. Who knows where it's going to, of course, end Q3, or I should say Q4. But I mean, exciting times when you have a company that can do this stuff. And here's all the details on that information. The Q4 EPS estimate, $16.2. It's just insane. I mean, the last 4-quarter EPS estimate is 42.3 earnings per share. Just absolutely insane. I just love this stuff so much. It's so fun. So congratulations to everybody here. Matt Hoogan, this is actually somebody who I've always appreciated. They were the reason why I got into Bitcoin back in 2018, because I bought the Bitwise Bitcoin index. And so that was kind of an easy way for me just to use my Fidelity account to jump in and to buy some Bitcoin, or at least exposure to Bitcoin. And then, of course, I figured out I need to own Bitcoin in cold storage. So I made that happen. But that was a cool little opportunity that kind of opened the door for me. And then I went down the rabbit hole. And since then, life is good. But he says 1 trillion inbounds. I love that because it's so true. This is off of Bradley Duke tweet, which is Bitcoin funds globally are over 200 billion, and this parabolic growth is showing no signs of slowing. Inelastic supply plus insatiable demand equals new all-time highs. Just look what's happening since 2024. It's absolutely insane about the global AUMs in billion USD. Insane. Love this stuff so much. Here's another post from Adrian. This is just, by the way, a little preface, I should say, is here's the deal. So many people are going to keep complaining on X, on Twitter, because they want your clicks. They want, they're posting clickbaits. They want you to just engage with them and be angry with them or be scared with them or believe them or whatever it is. It's just so annoying when people actually still to this day, and it will never end, by the way, but people are still claiming that Michael Saylor's ATMing is driving down the price of MSTR all this time. Like, it's driving it down. When over and over again, it's just been proven by Adrian and other great people that are just brilliant minds that market sentiment has so much more impact. It actually has almost all, like 99+% of the impact. Michael Saylor did not ATM last week because it's Q3 earnings and whatever, blah, blah, blah. They don't ATM during that week. But guess what? Everybody was still saying, oh, iBet's up 3% and MSTR is down 1%. Michael Saylor's ruining the company by ATMing the stock into oblivion, down, down, down. No, absolutely not. They're just dead wrong. Dead wrong. It was all market sentiment. And guess what? Market sentiment will flip. And then it will be unbelievably high to the upside. And then it will flip again. And it will flip back to the downside. And we'll start hearing these ATM, just fakeries all over again. So anyways, that's just kind of a long pre-ramble to Adrian's post about how Bitcoin, MSTR, strike, strive, stride, and stretch. Bitcoin is a signal. MSTR is amplitude. Today's update on his visual data visualization with strategy data from 10/21/25. So he's actually meaning 1/21/25 to 10/3/2025. He goes, I think we're in the midst of a sentiment shift I've been prepping everyone for. The MNAV equals market multiple equals sentiment. So basically what he's saying, he said, as I've been trying to explain in my other charts, it is insufficient to look at ATM sales as a monolithic driver of price. It is a function of price, not a driver of price, and price follows narrative, not fundamentals. The narrative is now in our favor. And as you can see, if you want to just take some time and look at this chart, it really speaks volumes on what's happening and how much market sentiment has an impact on this. And when the market sentiment shifts, which people like Adrian and myself believe it has shifted, and again, things can shift back again quickly. All it takes is something to happen out there in the government or fill in the blank, and sentiment can shift back again. But right now, it really feels like it shifted in the right direction. The chart's showing the same. And when sentiment shifts back, the pendulum swings way far to the other side. And that's where we're going to be getting the 2, 3, 4x MNAV that Michael Saylor has talked about many, many times. He's prepared for it. I'm prepared for it. And guess what? I'm also prepared when it gets to 2, 3, 4x MNAV for it to go back to 2, 1.5, 1.4 MNAV, because that's the pendulum swinging. That's the volatility. Volatility is vitality. So in my opinion, and this is my personal belief, I love every second that Michael Saylor in strategy ATMs, because that is putting more Bitcoin in the balance sheet. This is putting more Bitcoin in the treasury. This is putting more Bitcoin locked away from everyone's grubby little hands, except for those MSTR shareholders. And again, I'm not saying we access that Bitcoin, but I'm saying the stock price will reflect the treasury of the Bitcoin. So we are going to benefit from that, because MSTR, Michael Saylor, they are never selling. They're not just never selling, they're never selling. So every time they ATM the common stock, MSTR, they are taking Bitcoin and forever locking it away from the grubby little paper hands that want to buy and sell and cry and whine and moan and complain and do all those things, from those people forever. And supply and demand of 21 million forever supply. And by forever, I mean there will never be a Bitcoin over 21 million. That just makes the supply and demand work even more in our favor. Bitcoin will be going up forever, not in a straight line, not financial advice. Nothing in this video is financial advice, nothing at all. It's just my opinion, but Bitcoin's going up forever, not in a straight line, in a pendulum swing, way up, come on back, consolidate, go up, come on back, correction, and then it's going to keep on, keep on marching forward, because that's what Bitcoin does, especially when you have treasury companies like Strategy and Michael Saylor and MetaPlanet buying insane amounts, tapping into the credit markets with all the preferreds. That's $300 to $600 trillion markets that's just out there waiting to be disrupted. Stretch is now 10.25%. I love the fact that I still own my Stretch. I bought it 89. It's now at 99. I still own that. It's a 12% gain on that investment. Plus, I got 9 and then 10 and now 10.25% return on my money. Thank you, Michael Saylor, for saving me from the disaster that is money market accounts, etc., and interest from checking accounts that's basically, trash and non-existent and not keeping up with inflation. So thank you for that. We are marching forward. Breaking: Michael Saylor's strategy, MSTR, just surpassed Coinbase to become the 104th largest U.S. public company. Here we go. Let's go. Keep on marching, strategy. Life is good. And just in strategies, Bitcoin holdings hit all-time high of $80 billion. As you can see, Michael Saylor is very excited. He's very happy. But guess what? He also knew that it was inevitable. And the Bitcoin therapist, he's just a person that I just like to follow, because he's just so overly all-time bullish that he just makes you smile at least once a day with one of his posts. Who didn't want to wait around to see this? Bitcoin at 126,293. I know it's down to like the low 125s as I'm recording this, but hey, this is amazing. This is so good. I just love being alive during Bitcoin Bitcoin all-time highs, because that's how we roll. And now I have a great video clip you're not going to want to miss of Michael Saylor chatting with Natalie. Great conversation. I recommend the whole entire interview. I'm going to give you a great snippet when we get back from thanking our sponsors. PayPal just made it official. They're letting US merchants accept Bitcoin. That's not just a news story. It's a sign of where things are going, and it raises a critical question. If the world is shifting toward Bitcoin, are you doing enough to participate? Because here's a powerful way to go further. Convert an old 401k or IRA into a crypto IRA with the help of BitIRA. BitIRA will help you convert it free of taxes or penalties. And here's why you'll love them. End-to-end insurance, highly secure storage, multi-encryption, and registered with the US government. And it's fully IRS compliant. Best of all, you can trade crypto within your retirement account without taxes incurred on any buys or sells. If you already put money into an IRA or employer-sponsored 401k on a regular basis, why not invest into a Bitcoin IRA each month? Just go to bitira.com/JLD and request a free info guide. Once you do that and open your IRA, you'll get a free ledger. Again, that's bitira.com/JLD to open a tax-sheltered IRA in Bitcoin.
I think the best way to get superior returns, 100x type returns, if you're an individual, would be you keep your day job, and so you maximize the cash flow you generate via whatever your profession is. You're responsible on your expenditures. You have to think in the year 2045, I think a Bitcoin's worth $13 million. So every Bitcoin that you don't buy is a $13 million cost. That Ferrari that you're going to buy is going to cost you like 6 Bitcoin. And so it's going to be $100 million Ferrari, right? If you look out 20 years. So you have to keep your job. Unless you're insanely rich, don't splurge on the Ferrari. Buy the 6 Bitcoin instead. And with regard to leverage, the intelligent leverage for the individual is generally long dated, mid dated mortgage debt. So if I have any kind of property, if I have a house, I would put a long mortgage on it, a 10-year mortgage, a 15 to 20-year mortgage on it, especially a conforming loan. And then I would roll it into Bitcoin, because mortgage debt is not mark to market. It's against an asset which is fairly stable. Normally the interest rates are somewhat subsidized by a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac program or a government program. So it's the cheapest form of permanent capital that someone can get. So, I give you what you shouldn't do. You shouldn't quit your job. You shouldn't splurge on sports cars you can't afford. Don't buy a yacht because it's obscenely expensive, and don't pay off your mortgage. Don't get debt free. Any capital you have that's not marked to market capital would be better invested in an asset that's going up 30% a year for the next 20 years. What's the second best? There is no second best.